That evening, as Emily prepared to leave, I noticed the calm precision with which she slipped into her heels. There was a serenity about her movements that didn't sit right with me. Too deliberate, too composed. "Don't wait up," she said casually, tossing me a quick, polite smile while sliding her handbag over her shoulder. I nodded, but her nonchalance felt like a jolt. She insisted it was just a simple outing with colleagues. But I knew Ryan would be there. Over the past few weeks, tiny shifts had unsettled me. Her phone stayed face down constantly. Messages would arrive late at night, accompanied by quiet laughter I could hear even from the other room. She put extra effort into her appearance for office events, just a little too much. I wasn't the jealous type, but there's a line between trust and ignoring what's right in front of your eyes. That evening, every instinct screamed that something was off. As she reached for the door, I decided to confront it subtly. "Enjoy your time with Ryan," I said, my voice calm, almost neutral. Her hand froze on the doorknob. She turned toward me, her face suddenly pale. "What did you just say?" she murmured, barely above a whisper. I repeated my words, soft but firm. "You don't need to lie to me, Emily. I know exactly who you're with." For a heartbeat, she seemed paralyzed, caught somewhere between shock and fear. Then, brushing off my statement as nonsense, she moved past me, the door slamming behind her. I remained still, staring into the quiet emptiness of the apartment. A storm of emotions swirling, hurt, anger, disbelief, betrayal, all merging into something heavy and toxic. I didn't chase her. I didn't call. I picked up my phone and opened the location sharing app we used, a detail she hadn't thought to hide. 10 minutes later, her marker wasn't moving toward the restaurant she had mentioned. Instead, it was heading straight for a hotel across town. The sinking feeling in my chest hardened into undeniable truth. I didn't react with fury. I didn't storm out. I simply watched her movements on the map, feeling our marriage crumble silently around me. I packed a small bag, not to run away, but to create space to breathe, to think. Each photograph on the walls suddenly felt like a lie. Every memory we'd built seemed tainted, each laugh and embrace layered with deceit. An hour later, my phone lit up with her message. "Still awake?" I ignored it. Another ping came 5 minutes later. "I'm sorry if I upset you earlier. It's just work stuff." Silence was my answer, letting the quiet speak louder than any words could. Then her call came. Her voice trembled, stripped of its usual poise. "Why did you mention Ryan?" she asked, almost pleading. "What do you know?" I responded softly, measured. "Enough to know you're not where you said you'd be." There was a long pause. Her breathing grew sharp, anxious. Within 15 minutes, her dot on the app began racing back toward home. She didn't send another text. She just returned, and the sound of her keys jingling at the door filled the apartment. I stayed where I was, seated calm. She stormed in, hair disheveled, eyes wide with panic. "It's not what you think," she gasped, desperation dripping from every word. I kept my tone even, unwavering. "Then explain," I said. "You're at a hotel with Ryan, and you expect me to believe it's about work?" Her lips quivered. Tears welled up, spilling over as she whispered. "It was a mistake. Nothing happened. I just wanted to feel noticed." That single confession cut through me, revealing just how far apart we'd drifted. The woman I had loved, the one who laughed at my stupid jokes and held me through hard days, was now a stranger, scrambling to justify choices I couldn't comprehend. I didn't yell. I didn't berate. I simply said, "You can't repair what you don't respect." That night, she cried, pleaded, and tried to make amends, but I stayed silent. Sometimes, quiet carries more weight than anger ever could. She slept on the sofa, the very sofa where I had proposed years ago, its irony slicing through me. The next few days were a blur of her attempts to make things right. Endless texts, cooking my favorite meals, smiles and apologies, as if a single gesture could undo the damage. But my decision was firm. Trust, once shattered, can never return whole. It remains fragile, a fragile shard ready to cut again. When I told her I needed time apart, she didn't argue. Perhaps she finally realized that some mistakes can't be erased. I left our home with only my essentials, steady and resolute. I didn't seek revenge. The fear and guilt etched across her face were punishment enough. Sometimes, a single sentence is enough to show the truth. Enjoy your time with Ryan. Those words weren't spoken out of anger. They were a mirror, impossible to ignore, reflecting back the reality of who she had become.